You just wrote a Python script, it works, yes, but then you realize you need a CLI, and suddenly you're fighting argparse, flags, help text, stuff that has nothing to do with your code. The thing is, Python already knows how to be a CLI. That's what we're building here live using Fire. I have new videos coming out every Thursday. Be sure to subscribe. Welcome back, guys, for another episode of Code with Josh. For obvious reasons, I'm Josh, and I'm stoked to have you guys here. Now, Fire is a library from Google that turns normal Python functions, classes, and objects into command line tools automatically. No config, no schema, no new way of thinking. You just write Python. Fire exposes it all to the terminal. That's the whole idea. Most CLI libraries make you design the interface first, so you stop solving the real problem and you start designing flags. Fire flips that, because you write the code first, then Fire handles the CLI. That's why it's perfect for scripts, internal tools, and fast utilities. Now, before we jump right into the code, the links in the description, they're dedicated to you guys, everything from my Python masterclass, my newsletter, all my ebooks. Head on down to the description, check them out, let me know your thoughts. So let's stop talking here. I'm going to write a normal Python file, no CLI logic, just functions, classes, and then we're going to run it and watch it become a CLI instantly. I'm going to start simple and then build out some useful tools that you guys can use today. Now that we're in VS Code, if you guys are new to this, we're just going to do pip install Fire. Okay, I already have this, so it's going to say requirements satisfied. Now, we're going to return to the terminal, but for now, we're just going to start off with importing Fire. Okay, now that we have this, I think the best first case scenarios, let's do a class version of this, and let's just make out some basic math tools that we can then run via the terminal. Now, I'm going to just do a few here like addition, right? What do we want to add? Let's just have A and B. This is going to return to us an integer, and so we're just going to return int A plus int B. Right. Now, I'm going to make a few of these out if you guys want to skip this part, but I just want to get some basic math ones down here. Again, all of these are going to pretty much require the same thing. Int A, this time we will minus int B, okay? Now, I've dropped in a few other ones, right? Multiply, divide, and modulo, okay? All of these are just basic mathematical operations, but really to get this going, because you guys didn't need to see that part, I'm going to come down here. We're going to say if name is equal to main. And all we need to do to really fire this up is I'm going to say fire using the Fire class, and we're going to give it our class math tools. This is going to handle everything for us. In order to run this, we're just going to open up our terminal. I actually am in a conda deactivate, activate. I'm in a conda environment. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to clear that. We're going to take Python, call our Python file, call the function that we want, 5, enter 10. Right now, I have a full-on command line tool, multiply. We can do 55 and 44, and it's going to process right here in the CLI. Okay, so a really basic version where we're executing Fire here, turning these into CLI tools. Now here in the next one, let's do it slightly different, right? I can build out a function. Let's just do a basic greeting function. Let's do like a hello world thing. So let's say I'm going to give it a keyword argument. Let's just make this world because we all love saying hello world. I'm going to create a variable called uppercase that we can flag down later is equal to false. And let's create a message using an F string and just say hello. And we're going to drop in here our name. And if we are in uppercase mode, then our message is going to just be an uppercase version of that. We can determine that when we run this in the CLI and returning our message. Okay, so down here again, we're going to put our boilerplate and we are just going to execute our Fire in the CLI. So Fire, what do we want to execute and turn into the CLI is greet. Okay, now when we run this, because I have two keyword arguments, I have name and we have uppercase. Generally, if I just run this file, right, 2.py, it's going to say hello world. It's accepting those keyword arguments. But now if I were to run this and we say our Python file, I can give it a different name because name is a keyword argument, but I could update the values. So Josh, that's the first value. Hello, Josh, right? Python 3, 2.py. And we could go in here and let's just say Josh again, but let's create this flag and say uppercase is now equal to true. Hello, Josh. Right, so that's super straightforward of how I can then turn that in. If you guys need help for anything, right, one, drop me a comment, okay, but two, because we're working the CLI, I can just go help here. And you can see we actually get the flags listed out here that you then know how to treat them when you're running this in your CLI. Cool, let's say that we want to create a CLI tool to count words and replace text within a text document, right? We could do a few things here. I could create a function for counting words, and then we could create a function here for replacing words that would be in some type of external document. Right, so if we make a function here like count words, this is going to take some kind of text file, and we are going to open that text file. So give it text file as our file, and we are just going to return the length of the file that we read, and we want to split it into a list. Okay, so we're just counting the number of words that are really going to be in some external text document. Now let's do like find replace, and this is going to take our path to the file. It's going to find something and it's going to replace something. So again, with open, let's take our path as our file. We can extract the content of that. So let's just say file.read. And we can then generate new content from this. So I can take my existing content that we read the first time. We're going to replace what we're looking for, and I'm going to replace it with this. And then again, because we've made changes, let's reopen that. And we're going to give it our path, and we want to write new contents in that as our file. I'm going to give it the W keyword argument for that. File write, what are we going to write inside of our file now? This will overwrite everything when we use this W command, right? It's going to overwrite everything. And then we can return, and let's just say something like, this part's not a huge deal, but for readability, we can say like replaced content count find occurrences. How many times did we replace that? Okay, so if name is equal to main, we are going to turn this into a CLI tool with Fire, and we don't actually have to put anything here because I have two functions. This will actually run out together. Now, for this to work, I'm going to create a dummy text file. Okay, and let me get some lorem ipsum here. Here's some dummy text that I just had made up. It's about a stuffed rabbit named Jarrett. I don't know. This is what it generated. This is what I came up with. Doesn't really matter. Anyways, I have the name Jarrett 3 times here. Okay, so I'm going to actually execute our CLI tool onto this, and we're going to see it run. Now, when we execute this in the CLI, we have two functions, but Fire we didn't actually give any arguments to. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to take Python. We're going to say our Python file. We are going to call the function count words, and we are going to give it our text file, which is dummy text. 100 words. Boom, there we go. Okay, that's great. Let's do that again. Let's say Python 3. Let's take our 3 Python file. We're going to call the function find and replace, giving it our dummy text file. And this time, the old text is Jarrett. We are going to change it to Bugs Bunny, I guess. Let's do that. That'd probably work well. Replaced 3 occurrences. Okay, so now that we have this, let's go back here and you can see that Bugs Bunny has been replaced inside of that. So our CLI tool is working. Again, guys, right? Python 3, type the name of your file. If you need help, we can run help. You can see that right here, I have 2 commands that it's telling us to use. There is no flags or anything because we didn't make it in this file. For our last one, I thought it'd be useful if we made a few tools here that would actually help us find files and rename files, because this is a bit more useful for at least what I'm doing on the day-to-day and probably some of you guys. We can build a function here, one, to find files within our system. It's going to look for a specific pattern, and it's going to go through our directory, which we're just going to leave it like that for now. And we're going to return a list that is going to be a path of our directory. And we want to, yep, there we go. And we're going to give it our pattern. Okay. And then in another one, in order to rename the files, we can just build out a simple rename files function with some kind of old extension. We're going to give it a new extension. And again, we're going to have our directory put in there. Now, in order to do this, we want to count how many files that we're working with. So creating a simple counter. We're going to say for every file in our path, giving it our directory. We're going to go global here, and we're just going to drop in, what do I want? I think we're going to go like a star old extension. I think that should work. We're going to take our file, rename this file with our suffix. Okay, I'm not explaining the logic too much behind these functions because the goal of this video is to really go over how we just build out these command line tools with Fire. And I'm hoping that you can see now how useful and practical it is to kind of just get going and spin up rather fast. So, okay, our function here is done. Now, I just want to show you guys this actually in action. So again, we're just going to fire this off, no pun intended, but at the same time, pun intended. Open up our terminal and let's look for just all the Python files on my system. We're going to go Python 3, 4.py. Let's call find files the function, and we are going to look for just our Python files right here. In my system currently, I have 1, 3, 4, and 2. Not in order because it's alphabetical, right? Or that's not even alphabetical either. But yeah, it lists off our files. Now, what we could do, right, is we could rename all the text files to MD files within our current directory. And if you remember, I have dummy text here. So if I were to approach this, we could call Python. We're going to go 4.py. This time, let's do like rename files, and let's say anything with txt becomes a markdown file. One file has been renamed, and there you go, dummy MD. Okay, so I created a tool that I could now, in this case, use within my VS Code environment, right? If we were to export this or use this other how, I could alternate this for my desktop. Now, I could list out countless pros here for Fire, from things like Fire is fast, plain Python files. These are great, instant CLI. If I rename a function or change an argument, the CLI automatically updates itself. All of these are great. They make Fire a really useful tool, but at the same time, I'm finding some cons with Fire as well. It's definitely not for everything. If you need strict validation, custom help text, or deep command trees, this isn't the tool for that. Fire trades control for speed, so it's great for internal tools, but not ideal for polished or public CLIs. If CLIs usually feel like overhead, Fire removes this friction so we can focus more on our code, nothing else, right? It's pretty gray box here. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you in another video.